Gov, the top 10% pay 73% of all federal income tax. The bottom 49 pay zero. Now, how much more besides 73% should we ask these people to pay? I mean, give me a break. I mean, my child is in school, I partied for 30 years, got married, got young kids. The bottom line is my son is toast. He is toast. He's a freshman in high school and his future is toast. He does not have what I had. I finished paying, and I'll leave with this. In '67, when I graduated U of I made $8,400 a year. I paid income tax, Social Security on the first $3,500 of my taxes. $3,500. So in June every year, I got a 7.5% increase. Today, we are taking Social Security out of the first $106,000. How much more can we afford, guys? You know, you talk about asking for revenue. Joe, you hit the nail on, Congressman, you hit the nail on the head last night when you said you are for revenue enhancement. Put the people to work. 437 lost their jobs last month. We're at an 8.2%. Cut that in half, and what you're doubling the tax. People pay taxes if they're working. I'll shut up.
Let me please stop.
I'll shut up. Put a sock.
2 points. 2 points. Scary number. 342,000 people last month stopped even looking for work.
And paying taxes.
Poof. Poof. The lowest workforce participation rate since 1981.
Ridiculous.
Don't ever buy this notion that the unemployment rate is 84%. We are dying out here. Quick question. Raise your hands. Be honest with me. Be honest with me. Raise your hand. Let me ask you 2 questions. Raise your hands. Kenneth, pay attention. Raise your hands. Raise your hands if you have had a better quality of life than what your parents' generation had. Raise your hands. You have had a better quality of life than what your parents' generation had. Raise your hands. Put them down. Put them down. Hold on. Hold on. Different question. Look into your head and look into your soul. Raise your hands if you fundamentally believe your kids' generation is going to have it better than you had it. Look around. Your kids' generation is going to have it better. Look around. Look around. Folks, I don't know of anybody in Congress who's done more town halls than I have. I try to ask this question at every town hall. The result is the same at every single town hall or Cup of Joe. Darn near every hand goes up to the first. Yes! Yes! Yes, I've had it better than my parents. Hardly any hand goes up to the second. How sad is that? How so not American is that? Because as you said, this is the essence of us. We believe, we want, we desire, we thrive on the fact that our kids are going to have it better than us. And for the first time, I would argue, in ages, we don't feel that way. Why is that? Why is that? What have we done? I'll tell you, Kenneth, what we've done. We've created a monster called big government, which we can't afford. We know somebody's going to pay that bill. So we fear for our kids. We have an abundance of energy resources in this country. Oil, natural gas, that this president and too many politicians won't let us tap. Forget about energy for a minute. Think about what that means in jobs. I have a great fear that we're not going to be working for a long time. I have a huge fear that unless we get it right, we're going to slug along at almost 8–9%, not real, unemployment for years. We're not working. 54% of college graduates are either not working or they're working part-time. Yes! This is scary stuff. Yes, ma'am. And by the way, before I start, look, I come from a family of 9 kids. Mom and Dad are still alive, 7 brothers, 6 brothers, including me. When we get together, it's a hoot. we have our cocktails, we talk sports, we laugh, we have a great time. I'm a happy-go-lucky Irish Catholic boy. I don't mean to always sound like such, because this is not me. We are the goodest, most decent, most entrepreneurial people in the world.
That's right.
Nobody can do it like us. And the reason I get so worked up and so sad is because we don't have that opportunity now. We're being sat upon. We're being sat upon. We're better than this. Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. First of all, I understand that I don't know if the Republicans are doing this or the Democrats, but you're thinking of putting Medicare into the government health insurance program, which I'm thoroughly against.
Can I answer that first and then I'll go to the other
Yeah.
one? Look, again, life's too short not to be direct. The whole point of Obamacare, is to move everybody on to government-run health care. If you don't believe that, I respect your opinion, but that's the whole point. And so what's going to happen, two things are going to happen. One's going to affect Medicaid, and one's going to affect Medicare. The plan, unless we can repeal it, within 2 to 3 years, businesses, estimates are 20 to 40 million Americans are just going to be pushed onto Medicaid rolls, off of their employer-based insurance and pushed onto Medicaid rolls. What's that going to do to states? So that's one. And the quality of care in Medicaid, we know, is not like the quality of care in private coverage. The second thing is Medicare. Remember, to fund Obamacare, Obama put $500 billion in Medicare cuts. He's also going to push people off of Medicare Advantage. The chief actuary for Medicare has estimated that over the course of 20 years, Obamacare will rob Medicare of about $4.6 trillion.
Jeez. The
whole point of Obamacare is to get everybody seniors off of Medicare and basically put off everybody on one government-run health care.
Right.
Folks, that's not right. It scares me. It will cripple business. It will bankrupt the country. And you know what else? The quality of care will be abysmal.
Yeah.
You vote on one issue this year, vote on one issue, it's this. It's this. It impacts everything in this country. Yes, sir.
No, she's got
Oh,
a
you got a
second.
Another question.
Sorry about that.
She's got a list.
Okay, and the second one is, the Republicans are for privatizing Social Security, and I am not. We have paid into Social Security since we started working, some of us that are my age. And this is not a giveaway program. I get so tired of the government categorizing Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security as one. Medicare, we paid for, we the working people paid for. Social Security, we the working people paid for. Medicaid is for people who choose not to work.
Well, let's be fair, and you're right. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security are three very different
Absolutely.
things. Three very different things. I won't speak for the Republicans, I'll speak for myself. Because the Ryan plan, the Republican budget, didn't even touch Social Security. We were so afraid to touch it, so we didn't touch it. What we need to do with Social Security is there are a couple small changes we can make right now to help with Social Security, but then there's one big reform we have to do or it simply won't survive. And that is, not for you and not for certain generations, but for younger people, we have to begin to let them opt out and begin, not for you, my dear, begin to plan for their own retirement. Again, I know not everybody agrees with that. That's something we have to begin to look at. We have to have the courage to say that life has changed, the world has changed. For certain professions, we politicians got to be grown up and say, you know what? We need to look at raising the retirement age creatively. We got to look to do that. I mean, my God, folks, the world has changed. When we instituted Social Security, there were about 32 workers for every retiree. Right now, there are 2 workers for every retiree, and in another 10 years, it's going to be down to 1.5, and in 20 years, it's going to flip. How
And
do you?
Johnson stole the money
Come
that
on,
was supposed to
come
be our
on.
trust
You've
fund.
gotta,
He stole it.
you are so right in that when it comes to things like Social Security and Medicare, we made promises. We made promises to your generation,
And we paid for it.
No,
And it was
well,
stolen by
Hold
LBJ.
on, hold on.
Absolutely.
Well, you're right.
It was
There
stolen.
was a time
There
when
is no
David
lockbox.
Stockman, when David Stockman was a financial director, Social Security was far in the black. What happened to all the money?
People got old.
You know what happened? No.
So many people have passed away and never collected it. So many people think and never
Some illegal
collected it and
aliens got
never
it.
collected it.
You know
I don't
what's,
buy that.
no, you know what's, again,
Who raided the fund?
well.
Johnson, LBJ, in 1864. Thank you.
And who continues to raid it?
I am so close to yanking you out of here. Now, I tried to say that with a smile, because
I'll go in the corner. I'll go in the corner.
You're right, but what's changed is just simple math. Just simple math. Guys, I don't care what age we are. Come on. I'm going to say it again. When we started Social Security, 32 workers supported every retiree. It's not that way anymore. So don't you think something needs to be just sort of looked at to save it? Your Social Security won't be touched. What we're all concerned about is the kids now who are 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, young people in their 20s. If we don't address basic math, it's just not going to be there for them. None of us want that. None of us want that.
His point is, what happened to all that excess money?
LBJ spent it on
Right,
Vietnam.
that's his point. 32 people, come on, they should have had a big bank account for the rest of us.
Yes.
Please.
Well, right.
And
You're
for our
right, Hank.
children.
You're
And our
right.
children.
Never should have been raided. But even if there was still that big separate bank account, even if it was in Al Gore's lockbox, what I'm saying is there's not enough there to support the retirees. There aren't enough workers. This is basic math. We're down to 2 workers for every retiree, and it's getting worse. So we need to reform it a little bit. You're right. Government never should have been able to tap into it. Right here.
I would like to encourage Republicans in general, and perhaps even yourself, to be more specific in some of the criticism of liberal/democratic policy. I'll give you an example. I did a little bit of research a couple of years ago, and I don't know if the program still exists, but it was a program designed to give people on welfare money. Now, I'm not talking about money for food, housing, clothing, medical care, or anything like that. It was because I noticed that people weren't going out and getting a job the way the design was. They felt that the reason they weren't getting a job is they didn't have the enjoyment of having spare money sitting around so you go out and buy something they really wanted. So they thought they'd give them the experience of it. And close to, I think, $1 billion a year there for a while, they were going to people in public housing completely on welfare and giving them $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 a check, specifically not to buy food, housing, clothing, medical care, or anything like that, but encouraging them to take their family down to Florida and going on the Disney cruise. Literally, going out and buying bedroom or living room furniture or something nice. Well, if you want something nice, go out and get a damn job to buy it. Don't ask me to pay the taxes so that you can have a nice life and take your kids to Florida on my dime. That, I don't know if hardly anybody in this country knows we were doing that. Why not? Why aren't the Republicans taking a look at things that are really stupendously stupid and going to be unpopular if more people knew about it, and telling them,
Can I give
this is what we're doing.
you a very pithy answer?